Hello, and welcome to this episode of Cooking with Mike, where today we'll be making bibimbaps. This Korean dish is perfect for using up some of the random sides you can make with Asian cooking, but today we'll be making it fresh. So to start off with, we're going to toast some sesame seeds. Just put them in the pan set over low to medium heat until they're golden brown and have a texture like sun. Set them aside until they're needed. Once the sesame seeds are toasted and cooling, we're going to make the first of our toppings, a sprout salad. Just unceremoniously dump a large handful of sprouts into some boiling water and make sure they're not in a big pile. Cover them with a lid and cook them for exactly 2 minutes. Once the 2-minute timer is up, using a slotted spoon, transfer them into a bowl of ice water to stop the cooking process. Using a wire sieve, drain them and set them aside until needed. To make a sauce for this dish, give some garlic a smush with the side of your knife to release some of the extra goodness, and finally mince it. You'll knead it very fine so you don't end up with big old chunks in your sauce. Transfer your garlic to a bowl to mix your sauce in, along with 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame seeds, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of gochujang, which is just a Korean fermented chili paste, 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of water, and 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Finally, add a small squirt of tomato ketchup. Give it a thorough mixing, and your bibimbap sauce is ready for pouring. For other toppings, we're going pretty simple. Slice up some mushrooms, here I'm using chestnut mushrooms, and set them aside for frying later. For both the sprout salad and the dish itself, we're going to need some chopped up spring onions, or scallions for our friends across the pond. We're mainly concerned here with the green parts of the onions and not the whites. We're also going to need some grated carrot to add some extra colour and texture. And finally, the greatest topping of them all. Now to finish off the sprout salad, you need to place your drained sprouts into some kitchen towel and squeeze out the last vestiges of moisture. Then place it into a bowl for assembly of the salad. This is a super simple salad, so we just need to take the bean sprouts, sprinkle in some of the chopped spring onion, some more anti-vampire chunks, and a healthy drizzle of some toasted sesame oil. Finish it off with some of the toasted sesame seeds and give it a quick toss to combine. And the salad is done. So for the actual frying part of the recipe, I'm using a wok, but you can use a frying pan just as easily. Heat up a tablespoon of neutral flavour oil such as sunflower or vegetable and throw your mushrooms in. We're not adding salt at this stage because that draws out moisture from our mushy friends and makes them a lot slower to brown. After they've browned to your liking, set them aside for final assembly. For the meat part of this recipe, I'm going to be using leftover bowl filling. Usually I go with a seasoned meat mixture instead, such as one I'll give in the description, but as I said, this recipe is a great way to use up lots of different Asian side dishes. Regardless of the type of meat used, you want it well browned and fragrant. Once it's fully cooked, remove it from the heat and wrap it in foil to rest. Now for the final topping, we're going to fry an egg. Traditionally, this is actually added raw and stirred into the hot rice to cook it, but that doesn't look or feel as good. So crack your egg into the oil and give it a thorough basting with the rest of the oil, making sure to keep the yolk nice and runny on the inside. You want to do this with your final assembly so the egg doesn't overcook. Now assembly of this dish is pretty simple. First you want a few spoonfuls of freshly steamed rice. I went with Thai jasmine because personally it's my favourite type of rice. Then you want to arrange your toppings around the outside of the bowl, leaving some room in the centre for your fried egg to be displayed. So we have our brown mushrooms, bean sprout salad, small handful of grated carrot, decent amount of kimchi, and a generous portion of the meat mixture. You want to give it a generous amount of the bibimbap sauce before you finally gently place an egg on top of your culinary creation. Then give it a final smattering of spring onion and toasted sesame seeds, and we are done. And there you have it, an easy way to have delicious Korean-inspired food at home. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, follow or subscribe, and I will see you next time.